America first. Non-fatal. We want to build a much better, believable people, and we must do it non-fatal. Communication very much higher. America first. To lead by an any. Insiders fighting for insiders. Time to stop. Insiders fighting for insiders. More of insiders fighting for insiders. Time to stop. Insiders fighting for insiders. America first. Love the flow. 69. Now it's time for new, believable people, and we must do it. If we don't control insiders, this will be over and over. To lead by an any big, fat love, find common ground. To hold the spread of lies, and we must do it big, fat love, find common ground. To hold the spread of lies, and any. America first. America first. Non-fatal. We want to build a much better, believable people, and we must do it non-fatal. Communication very much higher. America first. To lead by an any. Insiders fighting for insiders. Time to stop. Insiders fighting for insiders. More of insiders fighting for insiders. Time to stop. Insiders fighting for insiders. America first. Love the flow.
Back when I was in the academy, we would follow every toast with a song. Hey, fancy seeing you here. Glad to be with you. I know this is not a normal show. We kind of just decided to drop this. Let me sort of set the stage here. Hashtag clean slate is something that we've talked about. It's something that I'd mentioned before we went on Christmas break. And it's something that's been kind of heavy on my heart from your feedback, from a lot of people actually. And then it was reinforced spending time with human beings in real life over Christmas and New Year's. And I'll get to the schedule in a second. You know, the show is coming back on the 22nd, the Daily Show, and next week, Monday, we have a Black and White and the Gray Issues and an apologetics episode with Alex Jones. A lot of stuff happening here in the next week, but that's not really what I want to talk about right now. Clean Slate is an initiative that we're starting here. And I ask that you consider joining us. Let's start with this. What are we doing? What are we doing? I mean, what is everyone doing with our lives here and how we use these tools? You're watching this probably on one of the platforms, hopefully Rumble or Mug Club, maybe YouTube. But you may, at one point, you would see a clip on Instagram. And by God, hopefully that 10 seconds gets into that timeline, along with chicks dancing in yoga pants, selling you products that they don't use to develop a body you won't have and live a lifestyle that you'll never live. And we're feeding this machine. This is the feedback that I get from so many of you is you feel like you're in a rat race. You feel like a hamster on a wheel. And it used to be once upon a time, this is kind of the fundamental change I think that's taken place in this country and really across the world. People used to create content, or people used to use social media, used to create the content and hopefully reach the people who they felt it served. It was relevant to them. Now we live in a world where that's not the business. As a matter of fact, you're discouraged from that. And you're discouraged as a consumer from using these platforms that way. We now have people who aggregate content that they didn't make to try and reach an audience they don't care about through feeding a machine, which we call an algorithm. And all that means is it's an artificial brain. It's not even human. And it determines what you see and what you consume. This is why you feel like you're stuck in a rat race. It's an entire industry of appealing to an artificial brain that doesn't even exist. Let me just kind of break this down for you too, and something to think about. Social media is a term that people use. And I want to get into how this is a tool, right? Tools are meant to serve you. That's not where we are right now. And I'll just let you know right off the bat here, clean slate. If you go to my Instagram or my Twitter right now, everything is gone. I've wiped everything. A little secret. A lot of journalists do this at New York Times, at Washington Post, because they want to evade accountability. We're doing this that hopefully you can follow suit, and we will move forward using these platforms as the tools that were designed to serve us, not you, serving them. Let me ask you about social media. Social. When you're on social media, when you're scrolling through TikTok, when you're scrolling through Instagram, when you're looking at nothing but YouTube Shorts, do you feel particularly social? Let me ask you this. Do you often find yourself using social media when you're in a room with the people you love who love you? You ever leave Instagram or TikTok, any of these places after an hour, and feel better for having done it? It's a genuine question, and it's something that I hear from everyone about on a regular basis. Let me kind of give you an analogy, because this happened to me. social media, these platforms, this device that is constantly bombarding you, and by the way, collecting your information, it's like being at a party. You ever been at a party and there's someone there and you have a bunch of your friends, your family, and there's someone who doesn't quite pick up on the social cues and they won't let you go and you want to end the conversation, but you can't because you want to spend time with the people around you who you've come to see? That's the device in your hand. You don't really want to be attached to it, but it won't let you go. Only it's a machine. It's a machine that doesn't care about you. And this is the thing, working in the industry, I know a lot of you use it to stay in touch with families, and great. And these are tools that I absolutely believe are pivotal that you can use going into an election. I just don't believe that that's where we are right now. And there needs to be a change of course before we get to the point that there's no turning back. We have to get out of these social media ghettos and the reliance on them. We'll hear this, though, in the industry side. You got to be there. You need more reels. You need more clips. You have to do it. You have to do it. You have to do it if you want to remain relevant, if you want to remain competitive. Competitive for what? Competitive for what? For 10-second views in a timeline where people don't even remember where it came from or what they learned or what it meant? It's very different. They used to say that TV was going to rot your brain. And just to be clear, this show, 20-second daily show, you want to know? Watch the show. This show is a time capsule. Something happens to me, I would say, show my kids who their father was. Show them the show. But it's a program that's designed for you. And a lot of the things that we discuss, for example, Gerald doing an apologetics episode with Alex Jones, that'll be going up next week. The algorithm, the artificial machine would tell you, you don't want to see it. I don't agree. You let me know. You let the AI know if you want to see it. Do you realize that if I listen to these consultants, if I listen to these firms that exist now to tell you exactly how to profit off of new media content, to be clear, there's a business, and the model is create nothing because it costs money, it costs resources to create something, but profit off of everything. Clip someone else's stuff and distribute it, and hopefully you appeal to the algorithm. But let me explain to you the difference between doing a full-length program or, for example, using these social media platforms as tools. When I was a kid, and they would say TV would rot your brain, as an example, but it was different. If you went to a live show, you bought a ticket, you were there, you were sharing an experience with people. I can remember as a kid, my dad would usually tape it because it was past my bedtime, staying up with him the next day after watching David Letterman, or if there was something really funny on Saturday Night Live, or he would show me these films that he grew up with. Right? We would sit around and watch it together, and then turn it off, and usually talk about what it was that we watched. And we felt better usually watching something together. It actually did help build community and conversation. Same thing if radio, you turn it on. DVD, VHS, Blu-ray, whichever one. Maybe you're a Betamax guy. I don't know. You'd pop it in, you'd watch something, you'd move on. Same thing even when YouTube started out, you subscribed to somebody, you saw the content. And then you could discuss it. That's not what happens now. Who you subscribe to and what you say you want to watch is largely irrelevant because of an artificial brain telling you what it is that you need to see. The difference between you controlling the devices, between you turning things on that you want to watch and using it to actually help build your community is very different from a device that is bombarding you nonstop with a default setting of notifications and a bang, bang, bang while it reads your face, your thumbprint, and your preferences so that they can sell you to. Think about this for a second. When I say sell you, this isn't just some cynical thing. Again, why do you feel so unhappy? We have a mental health crisis, I guess we should say, that we've never had in this country. And we have more access to information than ever before. You really should be able to become more educated now for no money, but certainly less than at any point in history. You should be able to be connected to people, your family, your friends, more than ever before because you don't need to pay the money for a long-distance call or get on a plane. Right? This was supposed to create accessibility, but people are more isolated than ever. Why do you feel that way? Let me tell you why. Let's say YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. What's their capital? Eyeballs, ears. You. How do they make money? Sponsors, ads. They're selling you to the highest bidder. When you get a ding and 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 read your face and thumbprint scan, what's your preference? You are the product they are selling. You're just a means to an end for them to make money. And I say this as a free enterpriser. That's why you feel miserable. This is not about serving you. This is not a tool like a radio, like a television, like a hammer. You are a tool to them. They don't serve you, you are serving them. And it's a really scary thing. It's a really scary time in history when you take that and then you also extrapolate what we know about elections, what we know about the lockdowns, what we know about COVID. But it's really, really hard to identify that when you're so far gone because you've been convinced that you like something you didn't even care about because, boom, it was a 10-second view. It was a 10-second view. And all of a sudden you're down a rabbit hole. And hey, your kids are right there. Your family is right there. There's nothing wrong with consuming media. There's something really wrong with the biggest corporations that have ever existed, more powerful than governments, building their business model off of your inability to turn it off. And then you have the inability to teach people truth from fiction. And then you have to get into this rat race, like we've talked about. You feel like a hamster on a wheel? Yeah, because I got to know what's going on. I got to know what's going on. Hey, do me a favor. Just try for a couple of days not doing it and also proactively looking for news articles, staying in the know. Do you really need to be in these social media ghettos where 4 companies, 3 really, control all of the information out there? And does it make your life better? Does it make any of you happier? So that's why we're starting the Clean Slate initiative. And if you actually go to louderwithcrowder.com/clean slate, there are the instructions there. If you want to take part, and I want to be clear about what it is that you do, and an option B, because I understand that this is pretty severe. We've gone through, I guess, a digital suicide machine, as it were. I consider it a rebirth. We're not deleting these platforms, but especially as we go into an election season, we're hitting the reset, saying, okay, what kind of a legacy do we want to leave? And what kind of a change do we want to impact? And any of you out there want to have the AI brain determine what it is that you consume and who you are based on things that you were posting in maybe 2009 when the platform was entirely different from what it is now? We're not saying delete everything. We're saying delete the content so that you can start fresh. And if enough of you do this, it'll throw their algorithms for a loop, and you get to start with a clean slate. It's rare that you get to do that. It's a bigger risk here right now for us because we know that this is a media company, and it's gone on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at some point. That takes a little bit longer. So if you go to louderwithcrowder.com/clean slate, if this sounds like you, and you were thinking, I need a change, I'm getting sucked in. Maybe, and by the way, there are resources for this too, maybe you're addicted. This happens with a lot of people. They just cannot get off of it even if they want to. This is a step. You can clear your timelines and put up one post, whatever post it is that you want to put up, so that when people go to your profiles, this is what they see, this is what defines you, and include the hashtag clean slate so that hopefully other people do it. That's what it is. Now, if you don't want to do that, and there are ways to archive, by the way, everything that you've done in the past so you don't lose it yourself personally, then I would just ask that you be mindful as you move forward and use these platforms as tools to serve you as opposed to chasing the dragon and serving a master, because you need to understand that that master is an artificial brain that doesn't exist and does not care about you or your children. It would be like a hammer with sentience. It's a terrifying thought. Guess what? That hammer would be more scared of Instagram and TikTok. That's the world that we're living in. So clean slate, wipe it. If you feel like this is something you've been wanting to do, I can't tell you how many comments we get, especially people who are concerned with politics, saying, I want to have an impact, but my God, it's just stressful. And then I have to go off the grid. Here's a way to do it. Start now, moving forward, today. It's January, what is the date today? 11th. January 11th. Clean slate, and you start dominating these platforms out there so that they fall in line in service to you. You're not just something they sell to someone who doesn't know you and doesn't care about you. That's what clean slate is. Whether you choose to wipe everything, one post, hashtag clean slate, or you can include hashtag clean slate in your timelines as they exist. And as you move forward, decide that you're going to take control of this. And outside of that, yep, just so you know, not only is the show coming back on the 22nd, we never really take breaks. We've had the undercover unit here. But pissing off the most powerful people in the world. If you thought the Nashville Manifesto was something that is child's play compared to this, we have to aim once and aim right. They're out there working on it right now. So we'll have a lot of those coming up when the show comes back daily on the 22nd. But we'll also have Monday, another black and white and the gray issues, where I sat down with two black women and just talked about everything for about an hour and a half. Wednesday, Gerald and Alex Jones, they did an apologetics episode. And we actually have a special Nick DiPaolo 30-minute stand-up special as the OG on Friday. And then we're going to have, once we get the final go-ahead here from legal on the undercover stories that, hey, none of this would make sense business-wise. Change my mind? Absolutely not. That's costly. Doesn't appeal to you. Black and white, what, you're just going to, white guy, you're just going to go into a barbershop and talk with people? Does not make sense. Alex Jones and Gerald Morgan doing an episode on apologetics for an hour plus wouldn't make sense. You guys let us know. The undercover unit does not make sense. If you're just trying to appeal to that algorithm, click, 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 click. You're better off posting an old Andrew Dice Clay hilarious stand-up clip and not giving credit. But we want to provide this to you and you, not some artificial learning machine that seems to get dumber or more evil by the day, will determine what it is that we do. And I just ask that you consider not allowing it to determine what you do going forward. This is not an answer to everything. I get that. But it's been heavy on my heart, and hopefully it is a helpful first step. Hashtag clean slate. Go to louderwithcrowder.com/clean slate for the tools available to you if you want to do so. I'm going to see you very soon here on this channel. Really looking forward to it. This is my home. I love being here. And here's a little bit of a taste of what we've been up to and what's coming up next week. Thank you. Mug Club cannot be bought, sold, or bargained with. That's the reputation. The people who want to silence you, who want to dictate what you hear, well, guess what? They can't deplatform us all. It's a full-fledged network, and the announcements we're about to make, Mug Club is bigger than them. You, Mug Club, are the reason that they are scared. And they should be. Because wait till you see what's next.
How is that racist? It's not just black people who are on welfare.
Would you say sex trafficking? Mm-hmm. Okay. You're going to have to give, what?
Yes.
Now, in every industry, there's often a person who people think is the man. And then behind the scenes, there's the guy. In the world of stand-up comedy, for decades, that guy is Nick DiPaolo.
Oh, we have a videotape of Trump saying he likes to grab but Hillary doesn't?
Been awesome, and we're going to Alex's home.
Alex, thanks for joining me again.
Good to be here.
There, yeah.
There's no subject more important than our eternal souls and the fact that we are eternal beings made by God.
If you love Nancy Reed out here talking, I feel like I was robbed. They don't f*** around, and when I'm gonna take your piece, no one's gonna see you.
You're essentially threatening that you are going to publish this in any event, and I am telling you that if you do that, you do it at your peril.
What we do going forward, including script series, other undercover projects that we are working on, none of it happens without you. Hold on to your butts.